Hello, everyone. Welcome to this Learning Sound Synthesis Spotlight Series interview. I'm here today with Adam, and I'm really excited for this conversation. We're going to be talking about Adam's journey learning modular synths, but also about how Adam has been finding more consistency and building more of a musical workflow and a musical practice, which is something that I know it's a big part of it. It's one thing to learn what to plug in where and how these machines work, and it's another thing altogether to kind of form a musical practice that feels sustainable and supportive and all of those good things. So if you're tuning in live, go ahead and say hello. It's always good to see you here live. And yeah, let's start by kicking over to you. Can you just briefly introduce yourself and maybe share a little bit about what kind of music or art you like to make?
Cool. Yeah. So I'm Adam Raiff, and I kind of just dabble in whatever's exciting for me, and it's very much a play mentality for me in music and stuff. As music is primarily like a hobby,
Mhm.
um, and yeah, I've been doing music forever. I was definitely grew up with parents who were very encouraging around doing music and stuff and doing musical plays or whatever, and then played trombone from like middle school to through college and stuff, doing a lot of jazz and stuff. Yeah, and then I think around 2020, maybe 2019, 2018, something like that, I got more into like music production kind of stuff. And that was like, I don't know, kind of a lot through like Red Means Recording and Andrew Huang.
Mhm.
Um, and from there, I think that's where I kind of like figured out like, okay, this is what I want to do, like in terms of the music hobby. But yeah, I really didn't like create the real practice around it until starting to do learn sound and synthesis, which was a big impact in the last year since I joined that.
So sorry if you said this already, but what do you have like a favorite kind of music that you like to make? I know you said you like
Mm.
to do anything that's fun, but which is a great answer. Do you lean toward a specific kind of style or is it kind of
Yeah.
every day? Because that's fine too, you don't
Yeah,
have
it's kind of everywhere. I've been trying to think about how to describe what kind of genre of music I enjoy, and it's I guess I think maybe the core thing that I enjoy most when I'm making music is like storytelling
mm.
with the music, and especially storytelling that sprinkles a lot of humor on top. So yeah.
Well, I love that. Those that hits on a lot of things that I really love about music, like play, storytelling, and humor. I mean, like it's we can have fun with our music.
Yeah.
So nice. Okay, so you touched briefly on this idea that you didn't really form a musical practice until you started into learning sound and synthesis. But can you give us just a little bit of just for people who don't necessarily know, like those words can be kind of vague, a little bit of a before and after, like what were you doing before that didn't feel like you had a musical practice, and like what are you doing now that's different?
Yeah, that's so easy to talk about. So I think before sound and synthesis, I was basically once a year, I was just taking a month off of work, and I was just shoving all of my music stuff into that 1 month because
Okay.
I was really struggling with outside of that month, finding the energy and really it was mainly energy
Mm.
uh, to like really explore music deeply and do what I wanted to do with music. Um, and then after starting the program, I think it has a lot to do with the community that you attract into the program. Like it's just like you're such a magnet for like awesome, interesting people, like between your staff and just the people that are interested in your program and participating in the forums that exist for sound and synthesis. Like um there's like an accountability buddy group in the forums, and so when I signed up, I was like, let's do an accountability buddy. And so I asked on there if anyone wanted to meet on a weekly basis, and a couple people joined, and we all went through the program and kind of talked about our experiences on a weekly basis, and really like talked about what we did, and then committed to what we were going to do next time, so we could check in about that.
Awesome.
Um, and that was really helpful, and I'm still doing that. We still there's this small group of us still doing those check-ins and stuff, even though we've finished the going through the program, which, it's not a race or anything, but the accountability program, the accountability group, like, made it really easy to like go through it as we like did it together and talked about it and stuff. And yeah, yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, that's so cool to hear. I something that I hear from a lot of people is that, it kind of feels like they're making music in isolation, like they're trying to do their creative thing alone, because maybe they don't know a in-person community of people, right, who care about the things they care about. And so I can't tell you how many times I've had students join my course being like, I thought I was the only one. I thought I was the only one who cared about these weird or cool or creative sounds. And oh my God, there are hundreds of people like me. And it's just this exciting feeling of having that community. So I'm so glad that you're part of it, and that you started that accountability group. I mean, that's awesome. Such a perfect example of how to just sort of like turn it into what you want it to be. So kudos to you.
Thanks.
I'm okay. So from that, let's talk a little bit about maybe your process learning modular synths, because your music practice before wasn't really modular focused, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry. I can keep going. I can elaborate on my question. So what was that process like for you? I mean, and I guess with that, if there's anything that you found particularly helpful, maybe aside from the accountability group, because we talked about that already, what were the things that really helped you learn modular synthesis and integrate it into your music?
Yeah, yeah. I guess, let me think about this. Yeah, so I think what helped me, I guess, when I signed up, like there was my interest in the community because I was very much in isolation, and then there was only some amount of interest, honestly, in modular when I started, because I was like, I honestly like, there's like a 30-day money back. I was like, I don't know if modular is for me, but like I'll
Sure.
just sign up, and if modular is not for me, I can like do the 30 day money back guarantee or whatever on it. And so I I kind of came in with that mentality, which I'm really glad I did, because so for my day job, I'm a software engineer, and uh like all day I'm dealing in abstractions, and so and uncovering the abstractions is always really helpful for me to understand and do more of what I want to do with underneath those abstractions. And I feel like uh it's not one-to-one perfect, but I feel like modular in some ways is almost like that, ripping away that layer of abstraction on things. Like you're really getting down, there you can get down to the nitty-gritty of sound synthesis, where it's like, as opposed to, I don't know, like common VSTs and plugins or whatever, like you're just hit with a big wall of, here are your options, and there's your pre-made signal path that you get to choose. and
Yeah.
and and so like modular unlocking that like you can do whatever you want kind of mentality. I think, mm, that was really uh, eye-opening and interesting, to the point where I was using it to like control other things with VCVAC beyond just sound. I like hooked it up to Blender and was like sending signals from the song that was playing in VCV Rack into Blender to control things in the 3D scene and stuff.
Which is like a 3D animation or visuals program, right? Just in case people
Yeah,
know. Yeah,
yeah,
that's so cool. That's awesome. Yeah, I say this all the time. Like, you don't actually need to want to play a modular synth.
yes,
I still teach modular synth foundations, and I always will, because I really believe that it's the best way to learn synthesis and sound design. To your point, exactly. So many of the students are like, oh, I want to use these plugins that I have, or I want to use my Arturia soft synths, or I want to use my Moog semi-modulars, or whatever it is. And like, it's still the best way to learn, because like you said, it's almost like you go under the hood of the car and then you're like, oh, I now understand all the pieces and how they talk to one another. And now when I look at this front panel that some manufacturer designed, it's no longer just a mysterious black box. It's like, I get all the pieces. So
Yeah, it's like, because modular, you deal with everything so individually, and you yourself have to connect each of the pieces. You really have to understand how and why they're connecting, and that isn't something I really got out of any other place before I was learning modular. So it definitely, yeah, it made me really grateful that I took, like, even though I wasn't like super into modular beforehand and wasn't sure, I'm really glad I did, because I feel like, yeah, just my depth of understanding on sound and synthesis is just way better after the program and stuff.
love that. What are you working with now? Are you still not really modular focused, or has that kind of come more into your practice?
Yeah, I at least in the last month, I've been doing a lot of Electron hardware, and beyond that, uh, yeah, I mainly just Electron these days, but still still using VCV rack in some places, especially uh, this. I feel like maybe this is another thing that I think would be good to mention, of like, I don't know, learning modular, especially around VCV rack, is like, uh, by learning VCV rack, you just unlock such a potential of, like, I don't know if people are like excited about free plugins or anything like that. It's like, the amount of modules that exist in VCV rack
Unbelievable.
is just insane. And it's like, you just unlock by going through and learning modular at its foundations. Now you have access to so much stuff. Like, I think the last thing I was playing with recently was like, someone built Nintendo Entertainment System emulator of its sound chip as a module, and was playing around with that, and that was great.
Amazing. Yeah, it's mind-boggling. Shout out to them. I mean, thousands and thousands. It's really amazing. This might be a good time to play some of your music, if that feels okay with you. What do you think?
Yeah, let's do it.
Do you want to share anything about this, or should we just listen to it first?
Yeah, so this song, Welcome to the Party, was kind of my preparation for January, which is a month where people challenge themselves to just make more music and get little jams out there and stuff. And so you could see the very electron centric setup for this song. And I was particularly trying to practice in this song, like doing more live performance kind of uh, vibe from it. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, sweet. So let me pull this up on the screen. There we go. And folks who want to go check this out directly, Adam Makes Music on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
And Instagram. Okay, cool. Let me go ahead and push play.
January starting. Shake your
whoops, we're going into the next one here. This is so fun. I just love that it does feel really playful. Everything you said at the beginning, like playful, a little bit of storytelling. You're like welcoming everyone into this month of kind of collaborative music sharing. I love it. It's so charming.
Yeah, and it's even a good bit of the lyrics is kind of inspired by the kind of the mentality that the Learn Sound and Synthesis community has around taking imperfect action, where it's just like, "Welcome to the party, jamming starting."
Yeah, so
Yeah,
good.
no
Yeah, I
need to
love that
be
you
perfect.
said no need to make a perfect sound. It's just such a good spirit to like encourage people to make something. We can get so stuck on needing or feeling to like we need to make something perfect or even just
Yeah,
something good that can put so much pressure on us, right? But if we can just say, you know what, I'm just going to make something and I'm going to do that over and over and over again, you will grow so much from that.
agreed.
And you're not going to make it's not going to all be terrible. Like there's going to be, but it has to be bad at times to learn. And then you make something a little better and back and forth. And that's just the way it goes. But if you avoid creating altogether, wanting it to be perfect, then yeah, you'll be waiting a long time. So I just love that spirit. I think that's so cool. Thank you for
Yeah.
sharing.
And the one thing I wanna say about in terms of, like, I don't know, making an even if it's bad or whatever, one thing I've been surprised about of, like, starting to regularly, like, make jams and post whatever is, like, a lot of the times I'm surprised at, like, which songs are listened to more versus other ones, like,
Right.
I'll be like, "Ah, this one was horrible," and then that's the one that gets the most comments and most people that are like, "Oh, this is funky," like, I like that
Yeah.
this is weird and stuff, and yeah, so it's always interesting, like, maybe one piece of advice for anyone who's listening is, like, even like lower your bar for what you think is good because you might be sitting on something that someone thinks is so fantastic and is going to listen to it on loop.
Yeah, you might be. And you're so right. This is a reason why I always really encourage people to find someone or a group of people that they can share their music with and get feedback from because
Yeah,
I see this all the time when we do feedback inside of learning sound and synthesis. People come in and they're like, this is probably terrible. I'm almost embarrassed. I feel like I'm wasting your time. And then everyone else in the community is like, wait a second, like this is actually awesome. And if you tweaked, a little bit here and a little bit there, like this could be done. And so, yeah, we're always
yeah,
our own biggest critics, right? I think that's what it comes down to. Myself included, for sure. I can relate.
mhm, totally.
Yeah. All right. This is awesome. This seems like maybe a good moment. Let me just put a link up on the screen if I can remember how. How do I do that? Maybe I won't put a link up on the screen. But let me tell you a link. I'm going to verbally say it because I can't remember how to do this. Oh, I got it. Here we go. For those of you who have been watching, if you're interested in learning synthesis, sound design, modular synths, if you're looking for a community, if you're like Adam and you're like, I'm just doing all this in isolation, I feel like I must be the only one out there who cares about experimental music and sound. Trust me, you're not. And soundandsynthesis.com, that's the place to go. That is the website for my online course. I only run it 1 or 2 times a year, and it's opening up for enrollment later this week for the spring 2026 cohort. So it's really exciting. And it won't be opening again until toward the end of this year. But it's the perfect thing if you're craving that community, you want some accountability to help you move forward in your music making, you want feedback on your music, or if you're just looking for like a really structured, step-by-step supportive way to learn synthesis and electronic music. We'll start you at the very beginning, no prior experience needed. You don't need to be a musician. You don't need to be a technologist. Come as you are, and we will start you in the beginning and guide you through everything. And if you are more advanced, I still would encourage you to just check it out or send me a DM, because what I hear from a lot of my more advanced students is they were making good progress, they were making music, and there were these knowledge gaps that they didn't even realize they had, that there was they kept coming up against. So they were like, oh, I'm pretty good at X, Y, and Z, but I kind of keep making the same type of music over and over again, and I don't know why. And it's because there's some little technique or some little piece missing. And once they learn that, it's like the floodgates open and their creativity just flies. So yeah, go to that link. Right now it's still a wait list, but really soon it's going to be flipping over to an enrollment page. So you can get yourself signed up there. And if you have any questions, send me a DM. Okay, so I love to wrap up interviews by passing back over to you. If there's anything else that you want to share about, it could be something you're working on that's coming up that people could tune into, or it could be just a last minute piece of advice or wisdom that you want to share, anything at all.
Okay.
And multiple things too, totally fine.
Well, I guess in terms of the checking out my music, it's there's the Adam Makes Music. Instagram and YouTube is where I mainly post it. And if you end up joining Learn Sound Synthesis, go check out the Accountabilities Buddy program. If you want to join me and a few people on Wednesdays to come chat about music and what you're up to and get some accountability. So I'm always excited when people hop in there. So
Awesome.
if
do you do that every 2 weeks, every month, every
Wednesday we're on there, and it's just like a 30-minute check-in, and we're just talking about what we did and what we're gonna do, and that's about it. Yeah.
Good for you. That's so cool. Thank you for doing that. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It was a great way to get to know, all the, I just keep saying it over and over again, but like all the cool people in the community that's there. I mean, and maybe what I'll say is like other advice-ish kind of thing is like there are a lot of places online to find other people that make music, but there's not most of those places are free, and it's hard to protect those online free communities from being focused on what the goal is there, and protect it from just people who are just there to like capitalize on the audience in there. And so like that's like another awesome thing about the program, of like having this group of people that are super bought in and are like wanting to learn. You're basically like guaranteeing quality in your community by joining the program, which is why I initially joined, and it is 100% been true, which is awesome.
Awesome. And I say this all the time, but it's because it's true. It's people like you who make it and keep it awesome. So thank you. And shout out to anyone who's watching right now who's in the LSS community, because you're all amazing. I always say it's the best little corner on the internet, and I believe it so firmly. And it's because of all of you. And to anyone who's joining us in a couple days, I'm excited to meet you, and to kick off a synthesis adventure, as it were. All right, I think that's it for now then. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. If you're watching the replay, or if you just joined us, there will be a replay posted soon, so you can catch back up on everything you missed. Definitely go check out Adam's music. There's so many good things. They're so fun. So Adam Makes Music on Instagram and on, not Bandcamp, YouTube. And give that a subscribe or a follow or whatever it is that you do. And we'll see you at the next one. Thank you so much, folks. Take care. Bye for now.